All right, Lee. So NFC championships are here, but before we get into the NFC championship matchups, man, there's been a lot of changes with these NFL coaches positions that are open. Quite a few positions that have been open. So I'm gonna kind of go down the list here. Let's talk about some of these and see see what's going on. First things first. Let's start with Atlanta. So the Atlanta Falcons get rid of Raheem Morris, right? Then Matt Ryan comes in as the president, and president, I think he's the CEO too, right? He's president and CEO. No, there's another guy who's
Yes, another guy.
the yes, another guy, but Matt Ryan is the president, and Matt Ryan's first hire is Kevin Stefanski. So I don't know how you I don't know how you hire Kevin Stefanski, which, you know, he's had more losing seasons than winning seasons. Raheem Morris has a better record than Kevin Stefanski, but you're going to bring in Kevin Stefanski into Atlanta, and what are you going to expect? I mean, what I find it hard to believe, unless there's going to be some sort of miracle or something happening in Atlanta that I don't know about. But I don't see Kevin Stefanski making that big of a difference in Atlanta. And furthermore, Baker Mayfield came out because, he was in Cleveland, and he said Kevin Stefanski still hadn't called him back since, they shipped him out of town in Cleveland. And he said, I'm glad Kevin Stefanski is in the NFC South because now I get to beat you down twice. So Kevin Stefanski, I don't know what kind of hire this was, but there's some fishy stuff going on. I don't know if you heard about this too. And let me see if I could put it together. Remember when Shador Sanders' phone number got leaked, right? So during the draft, it was the kid of one of the players on the Falcons that was on the Falcons coaching staff.
Yes.
That got his number and they pranked called Shador. And I think that guy was actually on the Cleveland Browns coaching staff previously.
Okay.
And so there's quite a few links to the Atlanta Falcons and the Cleveland Browns. And all of a sudden, Kevin Stefanski is in Atlanta. It just seems something isn't right between what's going on with Atlanta and Kevin Stefanski being there. And I think they were working on this for a long time. I think at the beginning of the season, they probably was like, if Raheem don't make the playoffs, he gone. And I think Matt Ryan was talking to Arthur Blank about this. I don't know. All of this is speculation, right? I don't really know. But it's just I cannot see Kevin Stefanski coming into Atlanta and doing something different that Raheem Morris hadn't already set up for him.
Yeah, I mean, I think I can't really connect all those dots to make it, I guess, make sense. But there's definitely something kind of, weird going on. One could surmise that Matt Ryan and Arthur Blank, they have a relationship, right? Matt Ryan, the old, he was, of course, the quarterback there, got, NFL MVP one season, took him to a Super Bowl that same season, the infamous 28-3 game against Brady and those guys, and lost it, right?
Yeah.
Since leaving the NFL, since retiring, he's maintained that relationship with Arthur Blank in the broadcast booth. He's always in Atlanta whenever whenever he's in town doing a game. You always see him talking and chopping it up with Arthur Blank, and I'm pretty sure even outside of Sundays they're talking. So I think he definitely, the relationship, of course, the relationship had a big influence on him getting this position, because otherwise there's nothing on his resume that would denote him being qualified to being the president of football operations. Okay.
Right.
So not to say that he can't do it. There's nothing on the resume to qualify that. Okay. And him doing that, having that position, it's sort of like with corporate. When a new director comes in or a new senior manager comes in, at least back in the day, I know now it's a little bit different, but back in the day, and I'm talking about like the early 2000s, they clean house. Right?
Yeah.
Any and all direct reports, they bring in their people. Okay. So with this situation, I think with Matt Ryan coming in, he's like, look, everybody got to go. I want a clean slate. I want my guys. And unfortunately, Raheem Morris, he got caught up in that, so he's now gone. To your point, I don't think there's a big upgrade from Raheem Morris to Stefanski, right? I think it stays linear. I'm not saying Stefanski is worse, but he's definitely not better than Raheem Morris. And the way that Raheem had that team playing those last 4 games, they were on to something. And they had momentum going into the next season. It like everything finally clicked.
Yeah.
I was talking to some people earlier today about the progression of the offense since they got there. Raheem and his staff. He had Zach Robinson, who he brought over from the Rams, heading up the offensive side. He was OC.
Yeah.
It took some time for the quarterbacks to grasp the playbook. The Netflix show Quarterback Season 2, we talked, Kirk Cousins was one of the quarterbacks that they were profiling in that season. And it was documented during that documentary about how he was having a hard time grasping the offense. It was different for him. It was new. He said it was just, he couldn't wrap his head around it. And it took him a while. Okay. But by the time he was starting to get it, then he got hurt with that. I believe it was a shoulder injury. And that basically derailed the rest of his season. After that happened, then they bring in Penix to start the following season. And Penix's situation, he doesn't take snaps very well from under center. So the majority of their snaps basically had to be in the shotgun, and that takes away almost half of the offense. You can't run a play action. You can't disguise and manipulate the defense with, simple coverages from under center. The running game took a hit because of that, because now Robinson got to run from, being on the side of the quarterback instead of being in the backfield. Like it was a total mess.
Yeah.
Penix gets hurt, insert Cousins again, who now has a grasp of the offense, and then you run off. You have those 4 games where they look high octane. They look pretty good.
Yeah.
So they were starting to build that momentum. They were starting to click, and now you wipe all of that away, and you're starting again from scratch. Okay, and I think Cousins is a Stefanski guy. He likes Cousins.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens, but I mean, we've seen the show before, man. Like now they got to figure out what they're gonna do on the defense. The defense for the Atlanta Falcons was straight.
Yeah.
Raheem had that defense humming. The defense was fine and super young, so they were just gonna get better, right? I don't know if this defense is gonna fit whatever defensive coordinator they got coming in scheme. So it's a mess.
Yeah.
It's a big mess.
Yeah, it's a mess. Let me ask you this: do you think this may be a long shot, but do you think, seeing Stefanski is in Atlanta now, that he's going to bring Dylan Gabriel over there?
It don't matter.
Or try to trade for Dylan Gabriel? The reason why I say that is because he could play from under center, and he's been with Stefanski, and Stefanski may not want to go and say, we're going to get with Penix or Kirk Cousins and try to do this whole thing all over again. Well, what you think?
Let me tell you something. I don't think he's going to get with Penix regardless. I don't think Penix is his type of quarterback, and Penix is his guy. Now, it could be totally wrong. But if Penix can't run this offense, Penix is gone. That's a wasted pick. He's putting all of his chips in Kirk Cousins, because he and Kirk Cousins, they have a history. Gotcha. So Kirk Cousins is going to be the guy. And if he gets Gabriel, I don't think he left Cleveland on good terms.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. He and the GM, they weren't seeing eye to eye. I don't see that GM just handing over Gabriel to him without getting above and beyond the market value of Dylan Gabriel. And I don't think the Falcons are going to pay for him. So the only way he gets Gabriel, I believe, is if the Browns cut him.
Yeah.
If the Browns cut him and he ends up in waivers and nobody claims him, then I think they'll pick him up that way. But the Browns may just be spiteful and be like, we just don't keep him just because.
Right.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
But that whole thing you said about Baker, man, like I was starting to like get on the Baker wagon about the turnaround that he's had and how he's starting to mature and he's playing better. That stuff about the coach calling you, coach. Why the coach ain't got to?
They don't call you, man. Hey, you got cut. That's it. Yeah.
Like some do, but you're not owed a call. Every team that he's been with, he has a vibe against their coach.
Yeah.
he always has something negative to say about the place that he's been before. And I mean,
Right.
it's childish, man. It's childish. You
Yeah.
need grow up,
Yeah.
grow up,
Grow
move
up.
on. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So the new Baltimore Ravens just hired Jesse Minter. So and the Ravens Jesse Minter was the Chargers offensive coordinator, right? And so
Defensive, right? Wasn't he defensive?
he was
He
defensive
was
coordinator. My bad. Yeah,
defensive coordinator.
defensive
Yeah.
coordinator. Um, I don't know. I I don't know. I don't see how this is. I don't know in Baltimore what's going on. I this is gonna be
I don't think
interesting.
they got better. I don't think they got
No,
better.
no.
No,
Yeah, and unless I don't know. I can't even say
I
much
don't think they got better.
about this one because I've the defense for the Chargers. I mean, it wasn't like lights out. You know. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens in Baltimore, man.
So
Yeah.
the problem with Baltimore was when the now Seattle head coach, McDonald,
Yes.
when he left Baltimore, because he was the defensive coordinator.
There you go. Yeah.
You see how Seattle defense looks right now?
Yeah.
That's how he had Baltimore when he was there. And when he left, you saw that slow attrition take place
Yep.
where they
Yep.
just start, and then all of a sudden, especially this past season, people were like, this defense, this doesn't look like the Baltimore defense we were accustomed, because McDonald, he's been so many
He's
years
not
now
there.
removed,
Right.
so many years removed, and now they lost their way.
Yeah.
Harbaugh was not the facilitator of the offense or the defense. Remember, Harbaugh,
That's true.
he was a special teams coach.
Yeah. He's special teams. Yeah.
He wasn't a
Yeah.
defensive guy. He wasn't a offensive guy. He's a head coach. So
Right.
he's heavily dependent on having competent people in those coordinated positions to help, carry his mission throughout the whole
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when he had, the defense coordinator they had, he wasn't any good after McDonald, and then you saw that the defense for the Ravens it just went into crap, right? So that was the problem. So maybe let me take it back in reverse. Minter comes in and he can reinforce that defense
For
and
the
get
defense.
that defense, humming, because the defense has talent. I mean,
Oh
on the
yeah.
front and the back side, they
Yeah.
got the
Yeah. Yeah.
talent. They just need someone to get it steered in the right direction.
Right.
But this is another situation where you got to have a coach. He's gonna need to bring in a smart OC to come in and
Absolutely.
handle Lamar Jackson.
And they need it.
What is going to be the plan for Lamar Jackson now?
Right. Right. They definitely gonna need they're gonna need an OC that could unlock that again with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry over on that side. So yeah, it's but yeah, that's a good point. If he comes in and being a defensive coach, get the defense back to where it needs to be, maybe that helps Lamar out anyway, because they getting the ball right back if they generating turnovers. So yeah, we'll see what happened there in Miami. So in Baltimore. And speaking of Miami, Jeff Halfley was hired on the 19th. Mike McDaniel is out. Went over to San Diego as the OC. So, what'd you think about this, man? What you think about this move here in Miami? Did they get better? Moving off Mike McDaniel, or does Jeff Halfley have something up his sleeve where he's gonna you know get Miami into the playoffs or really making some noise in the AFC.
So Jeff Halfley coming in from the Packers, the Packers had a really good defense. The defense was they were disciplined, they were clean, they get after the quarterback, and this is even without Micah Parsons. Like
Yeah.
they were doing a pretty good job. I think he has the potential of being a good coach. It's hard to say when someone has never same like because it's the same with Minter. Like they've never been head coaches, so you don't know. You can only go off of how they were operating their side of the ball when they were coordinators. In both aspects, they both were their units were solid. They were pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So with Halfley, you hear good reports about him being a astute guy. He's pays attention to detail. Defense is always on point. But again, in this situation, this offense going to look like one. They need a new quarterback.
Yeah, big time. Big time.
Tua got to go. You
Yeah.
cannot hitch your wagon to Tua. Okay.
No.
So they have to figure that out and then create a whole philosophy on what that defense is, that offense is going to look like, because that offense was tailor made and constructed by McDaniels. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's going to be the I think the task,
Right.
getting that offense revamped. I
Yeah.
think he's gonna have a good handle on the defense. They still need some extra pieces there, but is it better now with him? Maybe, maybe. I would have liked to see McDaniel get another shot with a competent GM to give him. No, I don't want to say competent GM. That GM, he brought in some good talent with
Yeah.
Achan and Waddle, and
Yeah.
trading
Yeah.
for Hill. He did
Yeah.
everything McDaniel told him to do, basically.
Right. Right.
Anything
Yeah.
McDaniel needed, he tried to give it to him. McDaniel just didn't have a good grasp on the defensive side.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That
we'll see.
defense. Yeah. That was tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, speaking of Baltimore Ravens before, John Harbaugh goes over to the Giants,
Hmm.
and, Brian Daboll was out, John Harbaugh in. Automatically, they say in the NFC East, John Harbaugh is already the best coach in the NFC East. That's what
Do you
that's what
agree with that?
I could I could I could see that. I could see that. I don't know if he's gonna be. I don't know if that's gonna equate to them winning, but as far as being a solid coach, and like you mentioned, he's a CEO kind of coach. He's not a OC or DC, being from special teams, but he's done it for so long. He has a Super Bowl. I think he has a good head on his shoulders, great pedigree from a family standpoint. So, I think I could give him that. I could give him that just being there. Again, though, my caveat is I don't know if that's going to equate to winning. That's that's the only thing. But he got a solid team.
I think they lost 7 games by 1 point
Yeah, that's
last
that's
season.
that's 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 brutal.
So right, so
Yeah,
if they were to win those 7 games and
yeah, they rolling.
tax it, they roll. They in the
Yeah,
playoffs, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
they're not the typical 4-11, or
Right.
no, not 4-11, 4 and whatever, right? So I think he can have a quick turnaround with this team. And yeah, I think he comes in already being the best coach in that division. But is that going to equate to wins? I'm pretty sure it's going to equate to more wins than they've had last season.
Oh,
Definitely. Are they going to be able to compete with the Eagles? Maybe.
yeah.
Maybe. Maybe.
It
Yeah.
it yes. And it really does depend on who the Eagles bring in at OC. That's a big that's a big deal right there. That's big. That's big. We'll see.
I've never seen a head coach who is an offensive head coach be so dependent on an offensive coordinator.
You
It
know
don't make
what?
no sense.
You know why?
It don't make any why?
Because he wasn't the OC.
He was the OC.
I know he was the OC, but that was just a title. That was just a
And
title.
we talking about Nick Sirianni, all right?
We
But
talking about
yeah,
Nick
he was the
Sirianni.
OC. He was the
That was
OC.
just a title, man. Andy Reid. I mean, what's his name? What's his name was calling the plays? Oh my goodness, when he was in Indianapolis. Boy,
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
I'm drawing a
I'm
blank.
blanking on his name right now, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, but yeah, he wasn't calling no plays, man. He wasn't calling no plays. He was around the offense, but he wasn't calling no plays. And there's nothing innovative or genius or anything about any offense that he got. I don't know where he got that from. Probably from his brother. I think his brother's a
Frank
high
Reich.
school
It was Frank Reich.
Frank Reich. Yes, Frank Reich
Yeah.
was calling the plays. So yeah, I think he got that offense from his brother. I think his brother's a high school football coach.
When someone said Nick Sirianni's offense, it's a non-serious offense. It's a non-serious offense.
But yeah, yeah. And really,
Y'all better hope. Y'all better hope Daboll does go to the Bills
yeah,
and Joe Brady is available and comes to the Eagles.
that would be good.
Yeah.
I would definitely like to see Joe Brady there. I think that would be a good move. I would want Dable to go. I hope the Buffalo Bills hire. I hope in the next day or two, I see Adam Schefter coming across saying that the Buffalo Bills hire Brian Dable. I would love to see that because Joe Brady. I would love to see him in Philly. Because I think he does have an interview with the Eagles, and then Cliff Kingsbury has an. But I don't know. I don't know. Cliff kind of, Cliff Kingsbury kind of, he was hot and then he was not, right? And you know, from my
You talking
standpoint,
about this season? You talking
this
about him
season, yeah,
not being?
this season,
Well,
yeah.
Daniels was hurt. The quarterback was hurt this season.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I know, but it's we'll see, we'll see. And being in the NFC East, that's a
I'll
I
tell
don't
you
know.
this:
Yeah,
he better than Patullo.
shoot, man, look here, man. We'll take hey, look, we'll take him for sure, man. Boy. Oh, so yeah, your boy gets hired as head coach in Tennessee, Robert Saleh. So I know you were lobbying for Robert Saleh to get a head coaching position. So
In the AFC.
in the
In the
AFC,
AFC.
in the
Yes.
AFC, yes,
Yes.
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 So he's in there. He got him a franchise quarterback
Cam Ward.
in Cam Ward. Yes. So yeah, that's looking good for Robert Saleh. Gets another chance there in Tennessee. So that's gonna. I think how was Tennessee's defense? If it wasn't solid,
Good.
he's gonna.
It was
He
good.
okay.
It was
So
good.
they were good.
Defense is
Okay.
good. Defense is
All right.
good.
Yeah. So
It
really,
was just it's all coaching.
yes.
It's all
Yeah.
coaching,
Yeah.
right? And they need a little bit more talent on the offensive side, but the defense was
Yeah.
solid. The
Yeah.
defense
So
was solid.
So you should see. I expect to see. I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs, but I do expect to see them being much better. Like somewhere around 500. Maybe a game over or under 500. I could see them making that jump this year. Because I know he still needs to get some other people in, but yeah, happy to see him get that position in Tennessee, man.
And they say Salah, he has Brian Dable and Cliff Kingsbury as like his top two candidates for OC if they
For
don't get
OC,
head coaching
okay,
jobs.
okay. Yeah, that's solid. So all of this going to shake out in the next couple of weeks once these other coaching positions are filled. Now you still got some other coaching positions that are open. You got the Arizona Cardinals. After firing, I don't know who's going to take that job. That's a big task. With 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 with
Filling
all
the
three of
bottom.
the teams in the NFC West being in the playoffs, two in the NFC Championship game. Whew, boy, that's a job there. But I mean, you got a couple players on your team, but you need a quarterback. You need a lot. You need a lot.
You need a lot on that team.
Yeah. So that's going to be interesting to see who gets that position. And then you got, the Buffalo job is still open. We know Brian Dable is probably one of those players looking at coaches looking at that. And then Cleveland Browns is still open, and then Las Vegas Raiders and Pittsburgh Steelers are still open. So you still got a lot of
A
teams
lot.
that are still looking for coaches, man. So
Yeah.
it's going to be a lot of shakeup over the next couple of weeks.
That's 10 teams.
Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
this was more
That's
than
ridiculous.
previous years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
dude, that's interesting. So yeah, I mean, you got a bunch of openings here. This is going to be interesting over the next couple of weeks to see what
Yeah.
these teams decide on their head coaching positions. So, and then you only got one team left that needs an offensive coordinator. I mean, we touched on that a little bit. So we'll
And for the record again, you say you're hoping for who?
we'll I'm I don't want Brian Dable. I'll say that right off the bat.
Okay.
I don't want Brian
Okay.
Dable. I want him to go ahead and go to Buffalo. But
Buffalo.
I'm trying to remember who was I saying now?
And you say you
Who
don't want Cliff.
Yeah, I'm not feeling Cliff. I'm not feeling Cliff like that. I'm not feeling Cliff. You know what? I really can see. I would want a coach, and I don't know if there's a OC out there that's like a older OC that has been a OC for a long time and is really not looking for a head coaching position. But they sort of like Vic Fangio, where they've been around, they're established, and they're like, you know what? I don't need a head coaching position. I just want to call the offense. I'm an offensive maestro. I don't know if there's any of those coaches around.
Not any good ones.
Not any good ones. Yeah.
Not any
Yeah.
good ones, because if you're a good OC in this league, there's no way you're not going to get a head coaching offer.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. I mean, unless you want like an Arthur Smith or a Matt Nagy, right? See, but that's the caliber of offensive coordinator you're going to end up getting. That's
Yeah, I
tenured
get.
and who are not viable for head coaching jobs.
Yeah, don't need none of them. Don't need none of them. So, let me see something here. I'm looking up something real quick. Okay, have you heard of Bobby Slowick?
Mm-hmm.
So
he was the offensive coordinator for the Texans during C.J. Stroud's rookie season.
Rookie season. Okay, so check this out.
Which was his best. Which was
best season, right?
Right.
And
right.
then after that, now he's on the decline, right? As far as his play.
Right.
So I could see a Bobby Slowick kind of type, and then I could also this is a big swing.
Bobby Slowick is young.
He's young. That's fine. That's fine. That's
right.
fine.
Okay.
I know I'm kind of mixing it up a little bit, but I would like something. If when you said that, you made a good point. The existing OCs that are out there right now, that are older and established, yeah, they're trash. You're right. You're right about that. You're right about that. I definitely, yeah, I would be distraught if we pick one. So these are some of the names that they had as Eagles offensive coordinators. Okay, so potential. Bobby Slowick, they had him on the list. They had Charlie Weiss Jr. I know his dad, but I don't know that much about Charlie Weiss Jr.
Mm-hmm.
They had Mike Kafka. No. Straight trash. No. They had Jim Bob Cooter. No. Straight trash. Again, he was on the on the staff with Nick Sirianni in Indianapolis. No. Definitely not. Then you had Matt Nagy. No. Don't want him.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They got this other guy, Josh Grizzard. You know who that is? Josh Grizzard. I don't know him.
I don't know who that is.
And then
where's he from?
I'm looking now. Let me see. Josh Grizzard. Let me look him up real quick. See where he's from.
Miami?
Tampa Bay looked like. He was the Bucks OC. Yep. He was the Bucks offensive coordinator.
This year?
Yeah, this last year.
Didn't they fire him?
No. Let me see. Yeah, I think he was. Yeah, Grizzard spent the last 2 years under Todd Bowles in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, but they fired him. They fired him.
Yeah.
At the end of the season. Yeah.
Yeah. So they got him, and then a real swing
mm-hmm.
would be the offensive coordinator from Chicago, Declan Doyle, who's never called plays. He's young. He's 29 years old.
Why would
I think he may have some? He was under this Ben Johnson regime.
You want the Ben Johnson magic?
I want some of that to rub off.
You want some of that good ass?
Also, yes.
You want some good better bass?
Give me some of that, man.
Give me some of that good better bass. No, I don't think it works that way though. I don't think it works that way.
Yeah. Hey, look, if he could, I don't know. I don't know. It could be bust. It could be boom or bust, right? That's a real risk since he's never called plays before.
My concern with that would be though. Here's my concern.
Yeah.
My concern is that if you get a young guy that comes in, right?
Yeah.
Because they said that this is what actually happened with your OC from last year, who's with the Saints. What's his name?
Kellen Moore.
Yeah, Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
When these guys come in, right? If they don't have clout, like if you had a Mike McDaniel, if you had a Dable, they come in with clout, meaning
right.
This is my offense. Sirianni, don't even come in the room, right?
Right. Yeah.
When you get these young guys coming in, Sirianni is still going to impose his influence on what he wants that offense to look like. Because they said Kellen
Yeah.
Moore still had to modify his offense to
Yeah.
satisfy what Nick wanted to do, which it makes
True.
sense because Nick is the head coach. Get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you don't want Nick to touch that offense, which I'm pretty sure a lot of Philly fans today, they don't want Nick
Yeah.
even looking at the offense
No, we
anymore,
don't want him
right?
nowhere near it. Yeah.
You need an established guy who has a pretty decent track record of being successful on that side of the ball to come in and
Yeah.
just take it over.
Yeah.
And then just let Nick do whatever the hell it is that he does.
Yeah.
Right?
Whatever
you
that
can
is.
manage, you can share lead, whatever it is that you want to do. But
Yeah.
if you bring this young guy in, I promise you, I feel Nick is he's gonna be like, no, I want you to do this.
I could definitely.
He's not gonna full autonomy.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I could see that. I could see that happening. So yeah, I mean, this is going to be interesting. But I think another reason why, like Mike McDaniel and Dable did it. Well, Mike McDaniel didn't even interview, but Dable did an interview, and they didn't want to come to Philly is solely because of Nick Sirianni. They don't want to. They don't want to be with this. They don't want to be under this dude. They don't want to be around him. And I think that's what the problem is. I don't think it's Jalen and a lot of people want to blame it on Jalen. I don't think it's Jalen. It's purely 100%. They don't want to be associated with Nick Sirianni.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
so
not even really associated. They don't want to be directed by him.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the problem. Like you go in there and you're like, okay, so this I'm gonna have to listen to what you have to take your input into consideration for my
right.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, we'll see next couple of weeks what happened there. Hopefully, man, I got my fingers crossed. We'll see.
How would you feel if they got rid of Nick? How would you feel if they got rid of Nick?
Oh, I'll be happy. I'll be good. I'll be good. Let's bring somebody else in there, man. Bring somebody else in there who know what they're doing and get this thing. Get this thing.
Keep Vic Fangio on the defensive side. Keep Vic on the defensive side. I mean Vic.
Yeah.
On the defensive side and get rid of Sirianni. Yeah. That's
yeah. I would definitely do that. Boy, I was hoping, but it don't look like that right now. Now they did say. Now this is what they did. Why I was thinking about an OC, established OC, is because they said they are making sure that this OC has full autonomy. Like,
right.
Do you bring it in? Whatever you bring in is yours. You bring it in just the same relationship that Vic has now. Vic Fangio, Nick Sirianni don't have nothing in there. So I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. All right.
Yeah. So let's jump into these games, man.
All right.
We got 2 games, both on Sunday. These are the final 4 teams, man. Patriots, Broncos, Rams, Seahawks. I think it's right. I think it's right. These are the best 4 teams that's been playing all year. That kind of made it here. So let's start with the Patriots Broncos game. It is in Denver. So the Patriots are going to go up there. Bo Nix is out of the game. I think Stidham is going to be the quarterback starting for the Broncos. He's been a career backup for a long time. He actually was in New England with previously, or no, he was with, what's his name? Offensive coordinator from
Sean Payton.
No, he was with, he actually was with the offensive coordinator from the Patriots.
Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, Josh McDaniels had Stidham.
Yeah.
So
with the Raiders, I think it was
with the Raiders. Yes.
Yeah.
So he has familiarity with the offense. They said he's a really smart quarterback. I think he's going to be solid in the game. However, with Bo Nix being out, I don't see the Broncos winning this game with Bo Nix being out. I think the Patriots have been, and I've been down on the Patriots, not because of their schedule and all that. I've been down on the Patriots. However, after looking at, the totality of the season and seeing how they're playing, Bo Nix is out. I'm rolling with the Patriots because I just think right now, and I think we talked about this before, teams of destiny, and teams that are just, making it to where they gotta be. I think the Patriots are gonna. I think the Patriots are gonna make it in the Tom Brady list era back to the Super Bowl. So I'm going with the
Crazy.
Patriots, not the home team this time.
Crazy. Not your pick, but just the whole situation. Because I mean, for them to win that game, the last game, and Bo Nix get hurt like that right at the tail end of it was an overtime. It was overtime, right? And in
Yeah.
overtime,
Yep.
that's gut wrenching, man. That's hard. In this situation, I think they say the Patriots, they're a 4.5 point favorite. The Denver defense is probably 1, 2 in the league,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. They're up there.
right up there with Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to go with the Patriots, right? Patriots, they've been playing good. We talked about their weak schedule during the regular season, but they've just been winning these playoff games and winning them convincingly. So I think with Josh McDaniel as the OC guiding Drake May and getting him coached up for these games, it seems as if they have everything going in their favor, right, to get to another Super Bowl without post Tom Brady era. So yeah, I'm going to pick the Patriots too.
Yeah. It's just crazy how these guys. What has it been? What, 7 years? 7 years
Mm-hmm.
since Tom Brady? 7?
No,
Has it been that many?
no, no. It's been 4 years, right?
4 years.
Yeah, it's been 4 years.
4 years
Just
since
4 years.
Tom
Yeah.
Brady that they making the Super Bowl again. That's if they
Yeah.
win this one. That's crazy.
But you know what? I'm gonna switch my pick. I'm gonna pick the Broncos in an upset.
Broncos in an upset. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Okay.
gonna pick them in an upset. Yeah.
Boy, that is now the Patriots feel some kind of way since everybody's saying, their defense has been kind of cupcake. So they feeling some kind of way about people talking about their defense like their defense is scrubs. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, this is just okay. All right, I like it.
Yep.
I like it.
Yep. I'm invoking the whole, like, the last time the Patriots this deep in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Played a team and had to play up against their backup. They lost, right?
They
And that was in the Super Bowl. So
That was in the Super Bowl. Yeah. Yep.
that was
Yep.
the Super Bowl, right?
I remember that game fondly.
So
Remember
I
that
know
game.
you remembered very well, right? So we'll
Yeah.
see. I know it's a
Yeah.
different regime, different time, different quarterback, different everything, but
Right.
it can
Right.
happen. It can
It
happen.
could happen. Yeah. Anything could happen, man. Anything could happen. All right. So your Rams, man. Second playoff game, your Rams against the Seahawks. Boy, let me tell you, this is who won the second game? Did you all win the first game or the second game?
We won the first game, and the second game was that infamous 2 point conversion, non 2 point conversion, right?
Yes.
When my
Yes.
man
Yes.
just
Yes.
picked up
Yes.
the
Yes.
ball and
Yes.
decided to
Yes.
give it
Yes.
to him. Yeah.
They did give.
Yeah.
Yes. 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 I remember that. Okay. Yeah. This is going to be a really, really, really good game. You guys know each other well. You play each other twice a year. The Seahawks have been like one of those teams that you kind of I was kind of underestimating them a little bit. Sam Darnold. I was expecting the shoe to fall at some point, and it hadn't. I mean, the defense is lights out. I think I think tops in the NFL, but you guys' defense is right there. You got some really stout and solid pieces on your defense. With that is, you guys know each other so well. This is a tough one to pick for me. Is really tough because in both of the games, I think y'all could have won both games
Yes.
easily, and it's just one thing or the other, that happened in that last game where, Seahawks ended up winning that game. Seahawks are at home. It's tough to play there, but y'all used to playing there, so it's not like it's anything,
Nothing new to us.
yeah, it's nothing new to you guys. If it was somebody else, then I could see, that being a factor, but that's really not a factor for you guys. Playoff time, boy, this is a tough one. Seahawks at home, Rams. You got,
Go with
okay,
your gut, man.
no, let me, I'm trying to break it like this because you guys have the better quarterback. You have the better receivers. Seattle, see, yeah, you guys got the better receivers. Like I say, it's close. I mean, Jackson Smith and Jigba, the running back situation, I think, is kind of even. However, Seattle just lost Charbonnet, and so he's not going to be there, which is a big factor. That is a really, really big factor.
Yeah.
All right. Let me stop beating around the bush. I was initially, I was initially going to go with the Seahawks in this game. I was initially going to go with the Seahawks because I said the Seahawks just had, they were just, it looks like, but then when you really think about the experience and you think about, because I just talked myself through this with the better quarterback, better receivers, and now the running back, y'all got the edge on that. Seahawks, I think, got the edge on the defense,
Mm-hmm.
but y'all know how to rattle Sam Darnold. The only team that really knows how to rattle Sam Darnold. That's why I got to go with your Rams because this was just so close for me. It was just so close, but just talking that down right there, y'all just got the better on each side, and so yeah, I convinced myself on that. I'm gonna go with your Rams on this one, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going Rams all day on this one, right? Everyone's been talking about the Seahawks and how they've been peaking, right? And that they're peaking at the right time. But when you look at the schedule, you look at the games that they played during the tail end of the season. I mean, yeah, they won those games, but they weren't blowing people out, right? They weren't blowing people out. And I'm trying to pull it up now, but I can't seem to find it. Give me a second here.
Yeah, no worries.
Let's see, Seattle. Let's see here. No, so let me just get into it. They do have the better defense, right? Their defense is, I mean, they're rock solid on all facets of the defense. The front line, the linebackers, the back end with the DBs. Ernest Jones, he was drafted by the Rams and traded to the Titans and then picked up via another trade to the Seahawks. I was mad when the Seahawks got him because I thought I liked Ernest Jones, and he has a vendetta against the Rams. He does not like the Rams for how things went, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him. He's a good linebacker. So they are stout on that defensive side. Offense, I think our defense matches up well against them. We've been in the past, we've been able to get to Darnold, not just this season, but even last season when he was with the Vikings. So we've been able to rattle him there. Charbonnet is out. Kenneth Walker with the third, he's a good running back. And I think even with Charbonnet out, he has what it takes to be able to just tote the rock for the entire game. I was watching him from when he was in college in Michigan State, right? I think his last game at Michigan State, he had like 4 or 5 touchdowns. Like, he's a good running back. So I've always thought that he was talented. So if we rest on our laurels, he could do some damage. Being said, offense, I think I know he's going to have those guys coached up. He's going to be able to find the Achilles heel in that defense. We're going to be able to move the ball up and down that field. He's going to learn his lesson from what happened in the last game when we were up 16 points and then we allowed Seattle to come back, right? We're not going to put ourselves in harm's way on the special team side and let Rashid Shaheem, return any kicks on us either. So we're going to mitigate that. Our kicking game is strong now with Nevis. We're going to win this game, and I think people have this close. And for all accounts, it should be close because if you look at our stats, right?
Yeah.
We, points, we nudge them by 1. Yards, we nudge them by 1. What baffles me, 7-1. We've had 1 turnover to their 7. And yet the games have still been close, which tells me we haven't been as opportunistic as we should have been. That's going to get corrected too. We're going to play a clean game. We're going to get turnovers on the defensive side, right, from Donald or whoever. And I think we're going to win this game. And I'm not going to say it's going to be a blowout, but I don't think it's going to be as close as people think it's going to be. And if they're, peaking because of what they did to Niners team that was minus like half of their
Yeah,
best players,
yeah.
and they're riding high off of that. They're going to be in for a rude awakening. They're going to be in for a rude awakening because that win against the Niners, it didn't impress me.
Right. Yeah.
It didn't impress me because
It's
the
the nine.
Niners,
Yeah.
they were literally on their last leg. They were
Yeah.
on their last leg. That
Yeah.
didn't impress me at all. So if
Yeah.
that's what you're gonna hit your wagon to say, oh, we're great, because you came off of that bye from getting the number one spot, and you play a team down on their luck, and now all of a
Right.
sudden, nah,
Yeah.
it's not.
And it's a division team who y'all used to playing anyway, and they banged up, so y'all know their tendencies, and they got all these players out. So you definitely
Right.
took advantage of that. Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
if we look, I think I got their schedule up now, right? So when you look at their schedule,
Yeah.
and I didn't even realize this. So when they played the Niners, right, and they beat them 41-6 in the divisional playoffs, week 18 they had played the Niners. So the Niners, they played the Niners back to back.
Right.
Think about that. You played the Niners back to back. The Niners had to go and play a playoff game in between that. They're tired, they're beat up, they're hurt, they're injured.
Right.
And then you had a whole week to prepare for them again based off of the tape of the game that you just played them on.
Yeah.
You were ready. You were prepared. You were supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So they did that. They beat the Panthers before that, and then they beat us by 1 point. They beat the Colts by 2 points. So I mean, I'm not concerned.
Yeah.
Not concerned because I think we match up well against these guys, man.
Absolutely.
We're gonna win this game. Yeah, we're gonna win this game.
Yeah. It's this is gonna be a good championship weekend, man. I'm looking forward to both of these games. It doesn't look like the Seattle. They have an open stadium, right? Their stadium is open.
Yeah, it's open. But it's loud.
It's loud. Yeah, it's loud.
It's loud. Yeah.
But like I say, you guys are used to that. You guys you play there. You play there once a year, so it's not a big deal. Yeah. So I know Cooper Cup is over there. It's your boy, and
I hate that, man.
Yeah. It's gonna be. It's gonna be, I know, bittersweet for however it goes on that side of things. But yeah, man, look forward to these games this weekend. It's gonna be very interesting. We'll jump back on Monday or Tuesday of next week. To talk about these championship matchups. And hey, good luck to you, man. Good luck to you, Rams. Y'all made it. Y'all made it to the final four.
Job not finished. Not finished.
Not finished. You got 2 more wins.
Yeah. 2 more to go. All right.
Yep. All right, man.
All right, man.
Later.